Hello students, in this video I'm going to continue the revision class of the chapter number system. Yesterday I have told up to the second topic where we are going to convert the given number which is in the format of p by q into decimal, or if it is given in the format of a decimal expansion, and then you need to convert that one to p by q format. So now the next one of the topic is actually very simple. That is actually a graphical representation of a number, okay, which is having what that is actually graphical graphical representation of decimal number. So most probably the number is actually what type of a decimal expansion. It has either terminating 1, terminating, or it has non-terminating, non-terminating but recurring, okay, non-terminating recurring. So when the number will be given to you of this format, and he will ask you to locate the position of that number by using successive magnification. I think you have remembered this word, successive magnification. Successive magnification. I'm not going to show the procedure for you. So I think you know how to magnify the portion in which the number is present, like that. Just look at the problems based on this one. Okay. So the next topic of this chapter is actually related to what operation on real numbers. Okay. So this is actually the next topic of this chapter, operation on real numbers. So here you have learnt some formulas, okay, very important formulas. That is root a plus root a. It should be equal to what? 2 times that of root a. Just recall the formulas, and then after that root a plus root b whole square. Then it can be written as what? A plus b plus 2 into square root of ab. If it is minus, okay, then it will become minus simply, okay. Then root a plus root b into root a minus root b. It is of the form a plus b into a minus b. It will become actually what? Just a minus b. Or else suppose sometimes he may give the problem of this format also, a plus root b into a minus root b. Then here there is no root, that's why it will become a square, and here it is root square root of b. It will become square root of b whole square, that's why it will become what? Just b. Remember, okay. So you need to remember all these formulas. And one more important formula, suppose it is a root a plus root b into root c plus root d, okay. So now look at it, a b c d all are different. During this situation you need to multiply root a with root c, and again root a with root d. It will become what? Root ac, and then plus root ad, and then after that you need to multiply this one with this one, and then this one with this one. Then it will become what? Root b into root c means root bc, and then root b into root d means root bd, like this, okay. And also remember this one, root a into root b is equal to what? Root ab, okay. So but remember, root a plus root b addition is not possible. Just you can write on as it is, root a plus root b. So but here it is like that, root a plus root a, then it is 2 root a. You can add the numbers within the square root only when the root contains the same number. Otherwise addition is not possible. You can write on as it is. But here if it is like this, okay, multiplication root a into root b, then you can write on what? Root ab, okay. So now this is actually the multiplication is valid even the number within the root is different, okay. So and in the same sense, if you consider like this, root a minus root a, okay, it will become 0, okay, because they will get cancelled. But root a minus root b means we can't simplify this one further, okay. You need to write on as it is, you can't cancel here. The number within the root should be same, like this, okay. So these are all the some very important formulas related to operation on real numbers. One more formula is okay, related to division. Root of a by b can be written as root a divided by root b. Okay, remember. So if it is applied for a b, means a fractional number, you can split up the root for both numerator and denominator separately. This is also one of the important formula related to what, operation on real numbers. And we have solved so many questions related to this one. It may be either of this form. Okay, if it is of in this form, directly we can write on a minus b, that will become the answer. And most probably we have solved the problems based on this one. Okay, so the problems which are based on this formula are very important, and you need to cover the problems based on this formula actually. Okay, so we can solve all the problems. I think there are no difficulties because the problems are actually very simple, and you can solve all those type of question. And also remember one more important thing in the beginning of the exercise actually. Remember this one, this is very important. Rational number plus an irrational number, result is always irrational. Okay, and also rational number minus irrational number, answer is again irrational number. Remember this one. Okay, rational plus irrational, it is actually what, irrational number. Rational minus rational number, it is always what, irrational number. Remember this one. Okay, and also for multiplication, rational into irrational is always irrational, provided this number should not be equal to 0. Remember this one. Okay, this number should not be equal to 0, rational. And also rational by irrational, or even if you consider irrational by rational, so this is also equal to what, are irrational number. So provided this should not be equal to 0, remember, should not be equal to 0 here. This also should not be equal to 0, then the result is irrational. Here also irrational into rational is also irrational. If even if you reverse this one, it is always true. Irrational minus rational is irrational. Irrational plus rational is again irrational. Remember this one. Okay, so because this will be helpful for you, the first question in the exercise 1.5. Okay, so and the next questions are actually based on these operation on real numbers formulas. If you remember all these formulas, then you can apply for all the problems and you can solve the problems based on this concept. One more important thing is rationalization. In the same exercise, we have come across the problems related to rationalization. So just I will show an example for you. How, what is the first I'm going to convey for you, how to write down the rational number. Okay, so what, while in the process of rational, you are going to write down what, conjugate of the denominator. Okay, so first you need to understand what is conjugate and how to write down conjugate of a number. Okay, so first look at here. I will take an example of a number like this. Okay, 1 plus root 2. So to write down the conjugate of this one, look at here, it is made of two numbers. 1, and first term is 1, second term is root 2. You need to change the sign of the second number. Second number is root 2. What is the sign? Plus. Okay, you need to change the sign, 1 minus root 2. So this is actually called as what? Conjugate of 1 plus root 2. In the similar sense, I'm going to consider the second example. Second example is just I will consider 2 plus root 3. Okay, so what is the conjugate of 2 plus root 3? It is 2 minus root 3. In the same sense, I'm going to consider the third example for you, and it is like this, root 2 minus root 3. Okay, here both numbers contain root, but the second number is the very important thing. Okay, root 2 plus root 3. Okay, here it is minus, that's why I will convert that one into plus. That's why root 2 plus root 3 is conjugate of root 2 minus root 3. And one more very important thing is, whenever suppose there is only one number. Okay, so let us imagine there is only root 2. How to write on the conjugate of this one? If there is only one number, you need to treat this one as the first term. And what will be the second term? You can write on like this. Okay, just a 0, it will become the second number. It is like a root 2 plus 0. So what will be the conjugate of this one? Root 2 minus 0. Okay, so writing minus 0 is not necessary, so that's why the conjugate of root 2 will become just root 2 itself. If there is only one term, there will be no change in the conjugate of and the number itself. If there are only two terms, then there will be a changes. You can observable changes will be appear. Okay, so second term, there must be second term, and you need to change the sign of that one. If there is only one term, and you need to treat that one as the first term, and the second term will become 0. So that's why if you change the sign of the second term, it will become root 2 minus 0. So there is no meaning if you write one like this. Root 2 minus 0 means what? It is just root 2 itself. That's why conjugate of root 2 become root 2 itself. Okay, in the last question, I think question number 5, and also in example section also, you have solved the problem related to rationalization, and I will show one example for you. I will consider this one, 1 divided by square root of root square root of 7 minus square root of 6. Okay, so you need to rationalize this one, means write on square root of 7 minus square root of 6. Okay, so first observe the number present in the denominator, root 7 minus root 6, and you need to find out what is the conjugate of this number. What is the conjugate of this number? Root 7 plus root 6, and you need to multiply that number and also divide that number. Root 7 plus root 6, I'm going to multiply this one for this fraction, and I'm going to divide this one, okay, like this, root 7 plus root 6, like this. Then the remaining procedure is very simple. 1 into this term means it will become root 7 plus root 6, and in the denominator, now look at here, root 7 minus root 6, root 7 plus root 6. Now here you can apply what? Operation on real numbers formulas. Okay, operations on real numbers formulas. Okay, so if you apply, it is of the form what? Root a plus root b into root a minus root b. So then you can apply this formula. It will become what? Just a minus b. A means what? Here root 7 plus root 6 is present into root 7. Okay, root 7 minus root 6 is present. Okay, so this will become what? Just 7 minus 6. 7 minus 6 means 1. So that's why here it will become 7 minus 6. 7 minus 6 means 1. So that's why the final answer is root 6, root 7 plus root 6 is the final answer. So this is a way how to rationalize a number when the denominator of that number contains a square root. Okay, so this will be possible only when the given number contains square roots in the denominator. Then only we will go through the process called as rationalization. Just multiply and divide by what? The conjugate of the denominator, and then after simplification, and there may be a possibility to use these operations on real number formulas. After the complete simplification, you will get the rationalized form of the given number. Okay, these are actually very important, and try to concentrate on a rationalization problem. And the previous one is actually what? Problems on operation on real numbers. These two type of problems are very important in this concept, and try to solve all the questions which comes under these two topics. So the last topic of this chapter is the law of exponents for real numbers. This is very simple topic, okay, because in the previous year also we have solved the question related to like this, but here it is related to what? Real numbers. Here the exponents may be real numbers also. And you have studied some formulas related to this one. Loss is nothing but the formulas, okay. So the major formulas are actually a power m into a power n is always equal to a power m plus n. Remember, so base should be same, power should be different, then you can add the powers like this. Okay, and the second formula is a power m whole power n is equal to a power m into n. Okay, second one, a power m whole power n is equal to a power m into n. So and the third formula is, if there is a like this, okay, a by b whole power m is there. Okay, you can split this one for both numerator and denominator like this. Okay, and in the same sense, one more formula is a power m divided by a power n. It can be written like this, a power m minus n. Remember, this is actually very important. Okay, so this is you should in most of the problems, this one, and then this is also very important. And the next thing, okay, related to this one is actually, if it is like this, a power m into b power m. Now look at here, exponent is same, base is different, then you can write down like this, a into b whole power m, like this. But here there is a difference between this one and then this one. Okay, so try to identify the difference between these two. Here base is same, exponent is different, but here base is different, exponent is same. So and it takes a different format in the right hand side, and these are actually very important formulas related to law of exponents. So if you remember all these formulas, it will be sufficient. Okay, I have written so many further formulas. Okay, just try to remember all those things. But these seems to be very important for you while solving the problems. And also one more thing here, you need to remember how to write down a given number in the exponent format. So for example, 32 is there. Okay, you can write down this one as a 2 power 5 actually. Okay, it will be very helpful for you while solving the problem. So because I think I have solved one question for you. So 32 whole power 1 by 5. Okay, he will be asked to simplify this one. How you can simplify this one, you must know how to write down 32 as a exponent of some number. You can write down this one as a 2 power 5 and then whole power 5. So now in the next step you can apply this formula. Okay, so now look at here, I'm going to apply this one. It is of the form a power m whole power n, a power m into n. So 5 into 1 by 5. Okay, 5 into 1 by 5, 5 and 5 will get cancelled, remaining will become what, just 2. Okay, like this. So that's why, so you must know how to write on, how to express the numbers like this. Okay, suppose it is 8, remember it is actually what, 2 power 3. Okay, and you must know the cubes are actually, okay, cubes of natural number, squares of natural number. Okay, squares of natural number. So these are actually seems to be very important for you. And also the concept of LCM will become very important for you, because in some questions, if I take an example of a question like this, I'm going to take this one, 2 power 3 by 2, 2 power 3 by 2 into 2 power 1 by 5. Okay, so in this question, actually you can apply this one. Okay, this formula, a power m into a power n. So then you can write on 3 by 2 plus 1 by 5. But 3 by 2, 1 by 5 are actually fractional number. So how to add this one, 3 by 2 plus 1 by 5? You must know the LCM concept. Okay, to add fractional number, what is the LCM of 5 and 2? It is 10. Okay, so now you need to divide 10 by 2. Okay, 10 by 2. 2 5s, so 5 into 3 it will become 15. And then plus if you divide 10 by 5, it goes 2, so 2 ones are 2, it will become 2. So it will become 17 by 10, like this. Okay, so that's why finally the answer will become 2 power 17 divided by 10. Okay, I think in the exercise actually it is 2 by 3, but I have taken 3 by 2. There will be no problem. He may give any number, whatever may be the exponent. If you carry out the correct operation, then final answer should be same. Okay, but here it is, answer is same, 2 power 17 by 10. Actually it is okay. You need to write on like this, 2 power 17 divided by 10, like this. Okay, so that's why in this problem, just you in this section you need to remember these formulas. Okay, and how to express a given number in this format. Okay, in the exponent format. And after that, the concept of LCM, like this. These are all the important things. Just you need to remember to solve the problems on law of exponents. Okay, so more concentrate on, I told for you in the last class, the conversion of a number. Okay, conversion of a decimal number into what, p by q format. It is very important, I told for you. And more concentrate on the previous topic, which is a rationalization, related to rationalization and operation on real numbers. And the rest of the things are actually, they might appear in 1 mark question and 2 mark question. And the whatever the question, apart from the NCRT, what I have solved based on law of exponent and related to rationalization, they will appear in 3 marks. Okay, 2 marks, 3 marks or 2 marks. And the questions what they have given in NCRT textbook, they maybe appear in the 1 mark question or in 2 mark question. Remember, because they are actually very simple. In case of law of exponent also, questions are actually seems to be very simple questions. Okay, you will get the answer in 1 or 2 steps. Sometimes just by looking at the question you can give the answer. So that's why they will appear in 1 mark and 2 mark, maximum in 2 mark section. But in 3 mark question, the questions what I have solved additionally, they will appear in your examination or in the upcoming test also. So that's why you need to concentrate on all type of NCRT question and the additional questions what I have solved for you. Okay, so I think this will be enough for this chapter, real numbers. And I hope you are getting all these points what I have told for you. And the chapter is very simple, okay, very simple chapter. And complete this one, okay, with my revision class. Thank you, one and all.